Chapter 4, The American T. The American T is influenced very strongly by intonation and its position in a word or phrase. At the top of a staircase, T is pronounced T as in Ted or Italian. A T in the middle of a staircase is pronounced as D, Betty, Italy. Whereas a T at the bottom of a staircase isn't pronounced at all, hot. Look at Italian and Italy in the examples below. The tal of Italian is at the top of the staircase and is strong, Italian. The d of Italy is in the middle and is weak, Italy. Exercise 4-1. Stressed and unstressed T. Repeat after me. Italian, Italy. Attack, attic. Atomic, atom. Photography, photograph. Exercise 4-2. Betty bought a bit of better butter. In the sentence, Betty bought a bit of better butter, all of the T's are in weak positions, so they all sound like soft D's. Repeat the sentence slowly, word by word. Betty, botta, bitta, better, butter. Feel the tip of your tongue flick across that area behind your top teeth. Think of the music of a cello again when you say, Betty bought a bit of better butter. Repeat. Betty bought a bit of better butter. But, said she, this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it'll make my batter bitter.
If you speak any language, such as Spanish, Japanese, Hindi, Italian, or Dutch, among others, where your R touches behind the teeth, you're in luck with the American T. Just fix the association in your mind so that when you see a middle position T, you automatically give it your native R sound. Say, Betty, bada, bitta, with your native accent, not if you are French, German, or Chinese.
Along with liaisons, the American T contributes a great deal to the smooth, relaxed sound of English. When you say a word like atom, imagine that you've been to the dentist and you're a little numb, or that you've had a couple of drinks, or maybe that you're very sleepy. You won't be wanting to use a lot of energy saying atom, so just relax everything and say atom, like the masculine name Adam. It's a very smooth, fluid sound. Rather than saying Betty bought a bit of better butter, which is physically more demanding, try Betty bought a bit of better butter. It's easy because you really don't need much muscle tension to say it this way. The staircase concept will help clarify the various T sounds. The American T can be a little tricky if you base your pronunciation on spelling.
Exercise 4-3. Rule 1. Top of the staircase. When a T is at the top of a staircase in a stressed position, it should be a clear, popped sound. 1. In the beginning of a word, T is T. Ted took 10 tomatoes. 2. With a stressed T and ST, TS, TR, CT, and LT, and sometimes NT combinations, T is T. He was content with the contract. 3. T replaces D in the past tense after an unvoiced consonant sound. F, k, p, s, ch, sh, f, except T. T. Laughed, picked, hoped, raced, watched, washed, unearthed. D. Halved, rigged, nabbed, raised, judged, garaged, smoothed. Exceptions: wicked, naked, crooked, etc. Read the following sentences out loud. Make sure the underlined, stressed T's are sharp and clear. 1. It took Tim 10 times to try the telephone. 2. Stop touching Ted's toes. 3. Turn toward Stella and study her contract together. 4. Control your tears. 5. It's Tommy's turn to tell the teacher the truth. Exercise 4-4, Rule 2, middle of the staircase. An unstressed T in the middle of a staircase between two vowel sounds should be pronounced as a soft D. Betty bought a bit of better butter. Pat ought to sit on a lap. Read the following sentences out loud. Make sure that the underlined, unstressed T's sound like a soft D. 1. What a good idea. 2. Put it in a bottle. 3. Write it in a letter. 4. Set it on the metal gutter. 5. Put all the data in the computer. 6. Insert a quarter in the meter. 7. Get a better water heater. 8. Let her put a sweater on. 9. Betty's at a meeting. 10. It's getting hotter and hotter. 11. Patty ought to write a better letter. 12. Frida had a little metal bottle. Exercise 4-5. Rule 3. Bottom of the staircase.
T at the bottom of a staircase is in the held position. By held, I mean that the tongue is in the T position, but the air isn't released. To compare, when you say T is in Tom, there's a sharp burst of air over the tip of the tongue, and when you say Betty, there's a soft puff of air over the tip of the tongue. When you hold a T, as in hot, your T is in the position for T, but you keep the air in. 1. She hit the hot hut with her hat. 2. We went to that net site to get what we needed. 3. Pat was quite right, wasn't she? 4. What? Put my hat back. 5. Hot, late, fat, goat, hit, put, not, hurt, what, set, paint, wait, sit, dirt, note, fit, lot, light, suit, point, incident, tight.
Exercise 4-6, Rule 4. Held T before N. The held T is, strictly speaking, not really a T at all.
Remember, T and N are very close in the mouth. If you have an N immediately after a T, you don't pop the T. The tongue is in the T position, but you release the air with the N, not the T. There's no T and no schwa. Make a special point of not letting your tongue release from the top of your mouth before you drop into the N. Otherwise, button would sound like two words, button. An unstressed T or double T followed by N is held. Read the following words and sentences out loud. Make sure that the blue T's are held. Remember, there is no sound before the N. Note, another point to remember is that you need a sharp upward sliding intonation up to the held T, then a quick drop for the N. Just go to the T position and hum. Written. Written, sentence, forgotten, certain, curtain, mitten, Martin, bitten, button, kitten, patent, mutant, latent, mountain, recently, lately, partly, frequently. 1. He's forgotten the carton of satin mittens. 2. She's certain that he has written it. 3. The cotton curtain is not in the fountain. 4. The hikers went in the mountains. 5. Martin has gotten a kitten. 6. Students study Latin in Britain. 7. Whitney has a patent on those sentences. 8. He has not forgotten what was written about the mutant on the mountain. 9. It's not certain that it was gotten from the fountain. 10. You need to put an orange cotton curtain on that window. 11. We like that certain satin better than the carton of cotton curtains. 12. The Intercontinental Hotel is in Seattle. 13. The frightened witness had forgotten the important written message. 14. The child wasn't beaten because he had bitten the button.
Exercise 4-7, Rule 5, the silent T. T and N are so close in the mouth that the T can simply disappear. Repeat. 1. Interview. 2. Interface. 3. Internet. 4. Interstate. 5. Interrupt. 6. Interfere. 7. Interactive. 8. International. 9. Advantage. 10. Percentage. 11. 20. 12. Printout. 13. Printer. 14. Winter. 15. Enter. Exercise 4-8, Rule 5, the silent T. Read the following sentences out loud. Make sure that the underlined T's are silent. 1. He had a great interview. 2. Try to enter the information. 3. Turn the printer on. 4. Finish the printing. 5. She's at the International Center. 6. It's 20 degrees in Toronto. 7. I don't understand it. 8. She invented it in Santa Monica. 9. He can't even do it. 10. They don't even want it. 11. They won't ever try. 12. What's the point of it? 13. She's the intercontinental representative. 14. Hasn't he? 15. Isn't he? 16. Aren't I? 17. Won't he? 18. Doesn't he? 19. Wouldn't it? 20. Didn't I? Exercise 4-9. Karina's T connections.
Here are some extremely common middle T combinations. Repeat after me for what, but, and that. Whata, butta, thata. What I, but I, that I. What I'm, but I'm, that I'm. What I've, but I've, that I've. What if, but if, that if. What it, but it, that it. What it's, but it's, that it's. What is, but is, that is. What isn't, but isn't, that isn't. Whatter, butter, thatter. What aren't, but aren't, that aren't. What but that What ease, but ease, that ease. Whatter, butter, thatter. What you, but you, that you. What you'll, that you'll. What you've, but you've, that you've. What you're, but you're, that you're.
Exercise 4-10, Combinations in Context. Repeat the following sentences. 1. I don't know what it means. 2. But it looks like what I need. 3. But you said that you wouldn't. 4. I know what you think. 5. But I don't think that he will. 6. He said that if we can do it, he'll help. 7. But isn't it easier this way? 8. We want something that isn't here. 9. You'll like it, but you'll regret it later. 10. But he's not right for what I want. 11. It's amazing what you've accomplished. 12. What if he forgets? 13. Okay, but aren't you missing something? 14. I think that he's okay now. 15. She wanted to, but her car broke down. 16. We think that you're taking a chance. 17. They don't know what it's about. Exercise 411. Voiced and unvoiced sounds with T. This exercise is for the practice of the difference between words that end in either a vowel or a voiced consonant, which means that the vowel is lengthened or doubled. Therefore, these words are on a much larger, longer stair step. Words that end in an unvoiced consonant are on a smaller, shorter stair step. This occurs whether the vowel in question is tense or lax. Ha, hod, hot. Har, hard, heart. Haul, hauled, halt. Her, heard, hurt. Hole, hold, holt. Hoe, hoed. Ca, cod, cot. Car, card, cart. Call, called. Cur, curd, curt. Coal, cold, colt. Co, code, coat. Exercise 412, Finding American T sounds. Once again, go over the following familiar paragraph. First, find all the T's that are pronounced D. There are 9 to 13 here. Second, find all the held T's. There are 7. The first of each is marked for you. Pause the CD and do this, and don't forget to check your answers with the answer key beginning on page 193 when you finish.
Voiced consonants and reduced vowels. The strong intonation in American English creates certain tendencies in your spoken language. Here are 4 consistent conditions that are a result of intonation's tense peaks and relaxed valleys. 1. Reduced vowels. You were introduced to reduced vowels in Chapter 1. They appear in the valleys that are formed by the strong peaks of intonation. The more you reduce the words in the valleys, the smoother and more natural your speech will sound. A characteristic of reduced vowels is that your throat muscles should be very relaxed. This will allow the unstressed vowels to reduce toward the schwa. Neutral vowels take less energy and muscularity to produce than tense vowels. For example, the word unbelievable should only have one hard vowel, unbelievable. 2. Voiced consonants. The mouth muscles are relaxed to create a voice sound like Z or D. For unvoiced consonants, such as S or T, they are sharp and tense. Relaxing your muscles will simultaneously reduce your vowels and voice your consonants. Think of voiced consonants as reduced consonants. Both reduced consonants and reduced vowels are unconsciously preferred by a native speaker of American English. This explains why T so frequently becomes D and S becomes Z. Get it is da. 3. Like sound with like sound. It's not easy to change horses midstream, so when you have a voiced consonant, let the consonant that follows it be voiced as well. In the verb used, for example, the S is really a Z, so it's followed by D. The phrase used to, on the other hand, has a real S, so it's followed by T. Vowels are, by definition, voiced. So when one is followed by a common reducible word, it'll change that word's first sound, like the preposition to, which will change to duh. The only way to get it is to practice all the time. Again, this will take time. In the beginning, work on recognizing these patterns when you hear them. When you're confident that you understand the structure beneath these sounds and you can intuit where they belong, you can start to try them out. It's not advisable to memorize one reduced word and stick it into an otherwise overpronounced sentence. It would sound strange. 4. Relax. You've probably noticed that the preceding three conditions, as well as other areas that we've covered, such as liaisons and the schwa, have one thing in common: the idea that it's physically easier this way. This is one of the most remarkable characteristics of American English. You need to relax your mouth and throat muscles, except for ah, ah, and other tense vowels, and let the sounds flow smoothly out. If you find yourself tensing up, pursing your lips, or tightening your throat, you're going to strangle and lose the sound you are pursuing. Relax, relax, relax.